from the Swisscast Network.
Megan, I could talk about this for hours.
Many. Hi, I'm Danna Levy-Hoffman.
And I'm Megan McCrory. Welcome to So Frickin' Healthy,
The podcast where women's health gets real.
whether you're healing, thriving, or still figuring your shit out. You're in the right place. Hey Donna, how are you today?
I'm okay, Megan. What's up with a sigh? This has been a rough morning, babe.
Yes, recording in the morning is a little difficult sometimes. At least we've been talking for an hour before this, so at least my mouth is working. But hey, this is a mini and we only have 10 minutes. So I wanted to ask you, because this has come up so many times in so many episodes that we've done, where I talk about everything's healthy, all things are healthy. And you're like, no, but histamines. And I'm just like, God, Donna, why do you always have to bring up histamines? And inherently I understand, but I just thought that would be like a good 10-minute topic to talk about. So I don't know, just download your histamine history on me.
Histamine history. I mean, as we discovered at the beginning of this call, Megan has no energy, so she's talking to me, which I am so happy about. I don't mind. Hopefully the listener is okay with it too. Dude, histamine intolerance is big. Histamine intolerance is big because of a few reasons. One is that a lot of people who have certain symptoms will immediately think, okay, I need to eat healthier, or WTF, I am eating healthy, right?
Yeah.
Why am I still feeling crap? I remember the first episode that I actually mentioned this on was kombucha. And I love kombucha and I love Gina to death. But I was like, Gina, but I'm really sorry. But, people with histamine intolerance, they can't handle this. And it kind of stayed a mystery, also touching it throughout other episodes. But I realize now how much it is an issue for so many people. And I definitely would love to talk about it forever and ever. Where do I start? So
Where do you,
let's
what
start
is it? What is it?
Yeah.
What's
That's
histamine?
a good question. So,
because I think a lot of people hear histamine with antihistamine medication
exactly
relevant to allergies. That's where I think most people
Right.
would start, right?
And that's a good place to start, just because our body reacts the same way, right? So when we have seasonal allergies, our body is just overreacting to, some flower sperm, basically, right? That's all it is.
Eye juice and flower sperm. That should be our new t-shirt merch. Okay, sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
This might be longer than 10
sperm.
minutes. Yes, flower sperm. So histamine intolerance on its own is basically the same. It's overreacting to an amount of histamine going into our body. So it's more of a bucket overflow problem. We'd love to explain it in functional medicine as, imagine yourself as a bucket and the bucket is empty. And if you're having just a little bit of something, you're still okay. But if you're having a lot of it, the overflow is where the body overreacts. Okay. So it's not terrible for a person to have things that have higher histamine, but if they have a lot of it every day, that's when they'll be experiencing symptoms. Okay. So
kombucha has histamine in it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So I will name a couple of things, but mainly when you think about histamine, we think about things that are fermented, that are aged, that are pickled, that are
all the good stuff.
Sitting long, all the good stuff. Leftover food. So, or even like meat that you bought that isn't fresh or that you didn't cook immediately. Fish that wasn't frozen, or like food that is sitting too long is collecting histamine. Okay. Minced meat has more histamine than other pieces of meat, just because of the mincing process and it having more
like surface
area in a way, and stuff like that. So it collects it much faster.
Okay.
Common symptoms, although I always say with symptoms, it could literally be anything usually.
Yeah.
Because it's just a body overreacting. But what we do look at immediately when people come up to us with chronic migraines, migraines are a big one. So headaches in general as well. Skin flushing, when you get like all red. Like, do you know people who drink wine and become, all of a sudden, my sister, she drinks wine, her chest becomes red, her face becomes red, like that kind of thing. Runny nose, heart palpitations, brain fog, period pain. Thank you very much. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's very difficult sometimes to pinpoint that it is histamine just because of the range of symptoms that we get from it.
Okay. So then is there a way to pinpoint it? Or is it like IBS and it's just like this general symptom overload and there's no real like diagnosis?
Well, you just opened a can of worms, Megan. Let's not touch IBS because I think
Okay.
IBS is just
No, I mean, I always think as like IBS, like, but
Yeah, I get it.
Can histamines be tested for like allergies
Yes.
or other things?
Yes, 100%. So you can
Okay.
test histamine. Usually they test it in stool. There might be other ways to test it. But yes, you can test for histamine intolerance with a stool test. In Switzerland, surprising enough, it's even covered by insurance, which means that you can,
Really?
you can get it tested. Yeah.
Cool.
And basically when you find out that you are histamine intolerant, again, it can also be a combination of things that you're sensitive to, meaning it could be histamine, but it could also be other things.
Yeah.
But it's always good to just completely remove high histamine foods and products and then let the body relax, see that the body is actually reacting to leaving those things out for an extended amount of time, and then slowly reintroduce it. And then again, notice that when you reintroduce it, how big is your bucket, right? So it could be that eating
right.
like a tomato or avocado, those are actually high histamine. Spinach. I mean, can you imagine Popeye? Poor guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe it's bloating. Maybe maybe it wasn't even muscle. Maybe it was just a reaction to all
Right.
the spinach he was eating. But I mean, there are many foods that you don't think of. So not necessarily the leftovers and the aged stuff.
So can I do this at home? Like, is there a way to kind of play around with my food? I know you're working on something now that can help people, but in general, like, what can I do at home? We're creeping in on the 10-minute time period.
Yeah, no problem. So, I mean, a low histamine diet, it's an elimination diet. You should not be doing it long term. Those should only be happening short term and hopefully with an expert behind your back. But just lowering histamine foods, you can look it up online. You will find a list of things. It's generally, but I am working on this is a teaser. No one knows this yet, but we're working on an app that is combination of elimination diets. So if someone has a few elimination diets and they're just unsure how they coexist and what they can actually eat,
Yeah.
this app gives recipes, information, and everything, and a lot of other amazing things. But yes, so we will have that hopefully within the next few months, but you definitely want to test it out first. I mean, and if you don't, you can test it out by just taking, lowering those foods in your diet.
Right.
So again, fermented stuff, yogurt, kombucha, sauerkraut. It's all healthy food. Like most of it is healthy food, which is what sucks.
So-
Avocado, tomato, eggplant. So
Yeah. Another quick question. So, like, for example, right now is a high environmental histamine period for me because of seasonal allergies. So I would say inherently, I would think now is not a good time to do an elimination diet because might confuse the results with allergy histamines, or is ingested histamine like different in such a way that it's not confounded or with allergies?
let's say this. Yeah, really good question. So let's say this. Your body, we talked about your eye juice. I love that terminology. I'm going to use it forever. We talked about your eye juice. You know how your body is reacting to the histamine in the environment right now that you're experiencing.
Right.
When you're lowering, and then maybe you also have other symptoms that you're trying to figure out what they're coming from or where they're coming from. So if you're going on a low histamine diet, actually, it might actually help also with the seasonal allergies just because your bucket is not overflowing.
That was my second question was, would it be better at this time of year to really concentrate on eating low histamine foods to help with allergy symptoms? So that's a yes.
I would say that's definitely
hurt.
worth trying. Exactly.
Doesn't hurt.
Definitely worth
Okay.
trying. And if it helps, amazing. And if it doesn't, and you've done it for like a month, you've cut out all these foods and you're like, there's zero difference, then go back to eating those foods because obviously those weren't a trigger. If you go back to eating those foods and you see that the symptoms get worse, stop again. And then maybe you just needed to do it for a little bit longer because there's so many things involved, like leaky gut and stuff like that. If we don't correct certain things, they're gonna, we're gonna be more sensitive for a longer period of time. So yeah.
Okay, Donna. Well, that's our 10 minutes. Thank you. I do feel like I understand histamines better now. So I appreciate your time and your patience with me with the histamine stuff.
Always.
Okay.
No worries.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. This podcast is a production of the Swisscast Network, amplifying English-speaking voices in, for, and about Switzerland. Learn more at swisscast.network.
Okay, we need your help with something.
If this conversation landed for you, please share it. Send it to your best friend or your sister or that woman in your book club who's been struggling with the same shit. That's how we grow. You, real women, sharing real conversations.
Everything we talked about today is on our website at sofrickinhealthy.com. Show notes, links, resources, it's all there. And you can even leave us a voice message. We love hearing your voices.
If the show is helping you on your health journey, would you please take 2 minutes to rate and review us? It helps other women find us, and it tells us we're doing something right.
If you want to go deeper with us, become a member of So Frickin' Healthy on our website. You'll get access to bonus content, our private community, and exclusive resources to support your health journey.
Plus, sign up for our email list to stay in the loop and receive occasional rants about wellness culture.
Thank you for showing up for yourself today.
Your health journey matters.
Stay frickin' healthy.